From London, England, where the Queen lives.
Recorded live from an underground bunker and packaged into an MP3 with a pretty little picture. Helping to kickstart your day with the motivation and inspiration you need 365 days a year. This is the Learn, Develop, Live podcast. And this is your host, Chris Jaggs.
Good morning! Welcome to the weekly episode of the Learn, Develop, Live podcast. As always, this is the main episode of the week, released on the dreaded Monday when everyone else is trying to drag their heels out of bed to get themselves to either school or work. That, of course, is if you aren't working from home, where you might be trying to move yourself from one room to another. So I hope you've all had a great weekend and you begin this brand new week fresh as a daisy or something like that anyway. My name is still Chris Jaggs and that probably won't ever change. I'm your host, producer, director, T-boy and CEO of the show and the creator of the Learn, Develop, Live method, helping you identify an issue or a problem, developing a habit to eliminate that problem before living your life on a higher level. Now how amazing would that be right now? We are now on episode 48 of the weekly show, which means the big 50 is coming up. And I'm planning on learning the whole week with content just to celebrate the fact that we made it this far. And this will include the launch, at long last, of the interview show. Yes, the idea's been there for some time, and finally, it will come to life. Come on! So, more about that, probably next week. But first, for this episode, following some organisational issues with Casey moving up to secondary school. Yep, in the big league now, as the people would say. But with life and work, isn't it time we just got organised? So before we get going, let's have the quick promo and let's begin.
The Learn, Develop, Live podcast, helping you get your out of bed.
Do you need some advice? Have you lost your mojo? Do you need some help with a problem? You can email Chris at learndeveloplive.com. And let's smash it together.
Here we go then. Now, we all like a good moan after a long, tiring day at work. But deep down, we know that if we're just a little bit better organised, things just wouldn't be so bad. We'd be more prepared for the task thrown at us, more able to deal with the unexpected complications, and less likely to panic, especially when there's a deadline looming. Everyone loves a deadline. Now, I consider myself quite lucky that I am, well, I'm told, quite organised, and I put this down to my many years in retail. Looking after a fast-paced store during the late shift, or, when the boss was off for a week, the shop's yours. Things need to be done by a certain time. Throw into the mix the screaming kiddies running around the toy shop, and unless you do some planning, it's really not going to work. And remember that quote, failing to plan is planning to fail. So organisation and time management are one of the most common issues that I work with people. And I'm happy to say, each one of those people has seen a huge change in their day-to-day life. And that's not even to do without the whole mental side of it. The mental health side is important to stop any unnecessary stresses, A bit of organisation can actually knock all those out. There are plenty of guides out there designed to, help you get organised and just do better with your time. But I want to give you a little bit of an overall guide. This list is not the master guide, as some things will work for you. Others won't. But once you put them together, once you get to your own routine put together, you'll know what works best for you. And at the end of this, the person it needs to work for best is you. So the best thing to do is start at the beginning. Get yourself a calendar. One that gives you plenty of space to write important things down in. Just a plain one. You don't need one that's got like a massive load of kittens on it and a tiny box to write in. If you work on a laptop every day, it's like you might be using Microsoft Outlook, and obviously that has a calendar on them as well. You can add anything to this calendar. And don't be embarrassed if you think something you add is silly. You can always make that appointment on the calendar private, so only you can see it. I do that with my coaching clients. Only the person invited will see the title and no one else. Privacy is everything here, Once you've got the wall calendar, having a planner might also be helpful, especially if you're in school. Again, if you work with a laptop every day, it's very likely that you'll have that if you go to a meeting. If you don't have a laptop all the time, I'd recommend that you put the planner on the desk. Once you get to class, and just leave it there throughout the school day or work day. This makes it more likely that you'll use it because it's right there in front of you. If you leave the planner in the bag, you're not going to use it. Or maybe later, you might get it out and not quite remember everything that you need to write down. Put everything in your planner. Project deadlines, family events, social events. And if you're a student, you should maybe add your homework, test, exam dates. Use the planner for what you need it to. It's there to help you. Maybe payday will be another good one. This way, you'll be far more organised. If you've got a smartphone, you could even get maybe the Google Calendar app. This is one of the many calendars out there which you can sync between different devices. If you've got a set amount of tasks to do, one method that's worked for my clients previously is to break the week up. If you look at breaking the day into two, look at doing one task in the morning, the other in the afternoon. If you do that plan Monday to Wednesday, for example, and then maybe leave Thursday and Friday, then, if that is your work week, the time you finish anything off that wasn't completed Monday to Wednesday can be done in the Thursday to Friday. This will take great pressure off you, and you'll know that you've got some uninterrupted time later in the week. Obviously, this won't work every week, but hey, it's worth a go. Once you've got that sorted, it's time for a clear out. One thing I like to do twice a week maybe, I have a slot on my Outlook calendar, which is an email cleanup session. Now, if your work is laptop based, it's likely that you're going to have a lot of emails come through each day. And if you can try and set up a folder structure for your emails, it will organise your work life so much better and also be able to find the email you've been previously searching for. Try and get your inbox to a minimum. Maybe the emails that are related to a current task or project, they're the ones that you should leave there. If you're a student, maybe you need to sort through some paperwork. Do you really need all that paper sitting there? Or could you just clear some space? At the same time as sorting out the inbox or the papers, you're also, at the same time, filing stuff away. Did you even know you could do two things at once? It is also worth spending, say, 5 minutes a day just planning your day. Now, I'm going to go into how to master the daily task list in the next episode. But you should know what you have coming up for the day, as it's important for your planning and you have no nasty surprises. I didn't realise one day that I had a group meeting until the Outlook reminder popped up. It happens. It's also worth breaking down the big tasks into smaller tasks. Breaking down a big task and project can make them seem less overwhelming and a little bit more manageable. Doing this also makes it clearer what your next specific step is, so you'll be less likely to procrastinate on the projects or the assignments. You could even look at each assignment or a project and just break it down to a smaller task. Stage by stage, your masterpiece will start to come together. Another step could be much like the daily one, but review the upcoming week. This is a real winner. If you have a look at what your following week looks like, maybe like the Friday before, you can plan accordingly and avoid any unexpected surprises come Monday morning. Not the best time to see those. Every night before work the next day, just get everything ready. Been doing this for years, ever since school, all that time ago, and something we're trying to get Casey into the routine of doing. Do everything you need for the following day, but the night before. Uniform ready, the right workbooks packed. This past week, I created a checklist based on what Casey needs to get out ready for school for the next day, so she can run through it and have it all ready. And the end result will be her not having to rush around the following morning. You don't want to be trying to get ready as you realise, oh, you forgot to make your lunch. Whoops. Now you could actually wake up a little bit earlier each day so you don't have to rush around. If you're the type of person that keeps hitting the snooze button, this is definitely a tip for you. Waking up 5 to 10 minutes earlier is enough to avoid any unnecessary stresses of rushing around in the morning. If it helps, put the alarm clock on the other side of the room. A real winner is actually make your bed every morning. Yes, I did just say that. It may sound silly, but it sets the tone for the day and can actually help you become more productive. Go on, give it a go. So there are some simple steps you can take that will help you get on the road to some organisation, which you may need in your life. And if any of those steps you already do, well, I guess you're just ahead of the game, aren't you? Once you spend the time getting these things set up, you'll be surprised by how much time you can actually save, and also how much better prepared you're going to be for everything. Now you have the basics to how you get started, how you're going to get yourself organised, and I think next week I'll continue with this with how to master the to-do list, as this is something I live by, especially when it comes to the working day. I hope the episode has been of some use to you and it's brought you some sort of success, especially once you put some of the actions into play. Please let me know, all feedback is welcome. Also, while we are talking about feedback, if you'd like to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, please do. If you want to leave a review but not sure what to say, why not just leave your favourite quote? Your words may inspire others out there. All reviews always get mentioned, and also I was asked by one of our listeners, Mr. Tom Henson, how can I leave a review if I don't have iTunes? Well, Tom, that is a great question. If the place you listen to a podcast doesn't allow reviews, aside from downloading iTunes itself, if you want to send a review to me, Chris at learndeveloplive.com, and I'll share it with the world that way. All the reviews I've received so far, as well as the success stories are on the website, learndeveloplive.com, they're all going to be featured on some new promotional material, which is going to be used across social media on a reoccurring basis, so you can have your words randomly appear across the web. So yes, Chris at learndeveloplive.com, and I'll get those read out for you. If you would like to talk some more about how you can get yourself organised, this is my personal invite to you to book yourself a free 30-minute LDL power call, and we can get you moving in the right direction. And also, if you want to talk about anything else, you are welcome to. Please come over to ldlcall.com, find your slot. As for now, good luck getting yourself organised, and I'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
What? It's over already?
All over.
Thank you for listening to the Learn, Develop, Live podcast. I hope you feel as warm, motivated, and fuzzy inside as I do. You can connect with Chris at learndeveloplive.com or on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter.
I won't say goodbye. I'll just say until we meet again.
Until next time, join the motivation. Motivation.